Tino Isamoa.
This looked bad from the get-go as they're trying to run a little combination route right there. Good jam by Travis Fisher, forcing those receivers to run into each other. Kitten had nowhere to go. Leonard Little and the boys bringing the heat. John had no receivers to unload it to.
Fans want defense. Rod Marinelli wants his guys to punch it in. It's 3rd and 5, just outside the 10. Asa came in as a 3rd wide receiver. They have 3 men out to the right. Kitten puts it up for Furry. He's got it. Touchdown Lions. What a catch by Mike Furry, his 2nd touchdown of the game. He beat the rookie Ty Hill.
Super throw by John Kitna, because Ty Hill's in great coverage here. The old saying goes, great throw will beat great coverage, and that's exactly what happened. I mean, look at this throw as a little fade route. Fury's able to reach out, lay out for it. I don't think he likes these Rams too much. He's got up 2 times now, throwing that football right at the Rams emblem there on the sideline.
A happy Mike Martz as the Lions have taken the lead with a great 82-yard drive. John Kitna has now hit his last 10 passes. Hansen the extra point try. May have been partially blocked, but it got over the crossbar. The Lions now have a 17-13 lead. Furry
turns and looks. Ty Hill never locates the ball until it's way too late. It's just a young corner that's just more worried about the coverage than his technique. Getting your head around and trying to locate that football. And then, again, they've taken advantage, have the Detroit offense. Whenever the Rams have blitzed, which has been early and often in this game, they've taken advantage on the outside. Then there's Fury on the Rams. Yeah, I started my career here, but no moss.
A very happy Mike Martz with Roy Williams, who's had a big game.
Look at this.
And overall, he's hit his last 10.
8 for 8 on that drive.
12 plays, 82 yards. Furry with 2 touchdowns. His first 2 as a receiver in the NFL.
Now what do you do if you're... Go ahead.
Rod Marinelli keeps telling his players, keep faith. Have the faith. Keep
the payoff's coming.
Keep digging.
The payoff's coming. That's right.
And
get in the tunnel and dig even when you don't see light. Was the Rod Marinelli analogy. What do you do when you're digging and you see light? We keep digging. No, that's wrong. You dig when you don't see the light, Rod Marinelli tells you.
Well, now the Rams will have to find a way to come back as they are down for the first time of the game. Hansen line drive kick. Bounces around. J.R. Reed lets it roll into the end zone and downs it there. It'll be a touchback. And the Rams, with 1:12 to go in the first half, will start from the 20. For Mike Furry, what a return to St. Louis, where he played 3 seasons. Good hands.
Big time heat. Guys can't run with him in man coverage. That's the bottom line.
6 catches, 46 yards, 2 touchdowns. Great day for Mike Furry.
Not bad for a guy that started a bunch of games at safety last year for the Rams, huh?
3 wide receivers for the Rams. Everybody out. Bulger under pressure, and they've got him. First sack of the game. And a flag goes down. First sack in the last 3 games for the Lions. James Hall gets there. He had 2 in the opening day against Seattle, and finally got there. Or was it Kalimba Edwards?
Yeah, I think it was Kalimba.
15-yard face mask, number 79. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
There is no 79. We presume it's 78, Corey Redding.
No, I think that's on Todd Stussy, the left tackle.
No, it's against the Lions.
Right. Okay, that's right.
So they probably Corey Redding, 78.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, all right.
Right there.
It's actually James Hall.
Yep.
So the ball up to the 28-yard line out of the shotgun. Bulger throws short to Jackson. Lunges forward up to the 33-yard line. Clock running under a minute. Visa halftime report with Kurt Menefee, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy. Scores and highlights. Fox Sports ticker. Rams decide to call timeout. That's their first timeout. 2 remaining. Scott Linehan waiting for Mark Bulger to come over. Gus Frerotte is the backup quarterback. Frerotte was with Scott Linehan in Minnesota and Miami. They brought him here. Next week, the pregame show will be live in Philadelphia prior to the Eagles taking on T.O. and the Cowboys.
Little return to the link for Terrell Owens.
Other games, many of you will see the Giants hosting the Redskins. The Lions will go to Minnesota. The Rams will go to Green Bay. That second game, Dallas at Philadelphia. Right here on the NFL on Fox, Jimmy Kennedy talking things over, looking at the pictures from upstairs. 3 wide receivers for the Rams on 2nd and 5. Bulger gets pressure, moves up and throws, and completes to Torrey Holt at midfield. Ridden down by Dre Bly. Good throw by Bulger.
Again, Bulger doing just enough, Sam, with his movement, stepping up in the pocket like all the good ones do. The defensive end had the edge on the offensive tackle, bringing good pressure. Bulger steps up, is able to find Torrey Holt across the middle. They try to get a little momentum back here as they get into halftime, because I'll tell you, as this game started, it was all Rams early. Detroit has really settled in, especially on defense. I know St. Louis wanted to get a little better feel offensively and get something going here before they go in at the half.
Pickup of 17 on that last play. Ball's up in midfield. Lions wide receivers talking things over. Mark Bulger, 10 for 18, 123 yards, 1 touchdown in the first half. He's not thrown an interception this season.
Still waiting to see that Steven Jackson screen, which has been lethal here early in the season.
Ooh, jumping across comes Sean Rogers. The big man looked like once he jumped across, he was trying to sneak. Maybe they won't see me.
Number 92, encroachment underrated to the quarterback. Defense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
I think he thought about getting back and just said, oh, heck with it. I can't get this big body stopped. Why even try?
Ball now to the Lions 45.
We saw him yesterday in the hotel. Sean Rogers double-fisted.
Oh, man.
Food in each hand. The big boy.
3 penalties for each team. 1st and 5 for the Rams. Take the handoff inside, throws to Jackson. Down to the 35-yard line, just across, close to the 34. No huddle. Looks like Bulger wants to step up and spike it. Sets everybody. And spikes the ball to stop the clock with 24 seconds. Rams are very close to Jeff Wilkins' range indoors.
He's still got 50+ in him, I think.
Time for an update. For that, let's go to Chris Rose.
All right, Sam, it looks like the Tigers are going to get swept by the 100-loss Royals. Esteban Herman in the 12th with a base hit. Royals score 2. Tigers down to their last 2 outs. They could be headed to New York for a first-round playoff series Tuesday on Fox, Sam.
Wow. Thanks, Chris. What a weekend for the Royals. Bulger gets time. Completes it to his tight end, Joe Klopfenstein, the 2nd-round draft pick out of Colorado.
Wants to clock it and get another play.
Sets everybody. Bulger drops the ball, and it is ruled a spike, I believe. Yes, Larry Nemmers steps in, or did he rule it a fumble? No, it's ruled an incomplete pass. Yeah. I think Bulger wasn't sure himself, thinking he might think it slipped out of his hands. 9 seconds to go. Here comes Wilkins. This will be about 45 or 46 yards.
Boy, and he's had a good year, you know, with all the lack of firepower in the red zone by this offense. Wilkins has been called on. He's been terrific. Well within his range here.
2 field goals in this game, giving him 13 on the season. 46-yarder right down the middle. And Wilkins is 3 for 3 in the game. His 14th field goal of the season. The Rams put up 3 in the closing seconds of the first half, and it's 17-16. It looks like the pregame show was in Charlotte today earlier, and they were having fun.
From right here in Charlotte, North Carolina, the Independence Patriots.
Let me tell you, Sean, whenever I have a problem with my feet,
that was good.
tough actin, clears it right up.
Back to two guys who love 24. Joe Buck, because that's the number of baseball playoff games they'll call this month. And Terry Bradshaw, well, because that's the number of engagement and wedding rings he's bought over his lifetime.
I look like Terry Bradshaw.
That's not funny.
This kid's lucky to be alive, and I'm not overstating it. When Jake Delhomme notices at the end of the game that his coloring is off, maybe someone in the organization should have noticed it too.
Terry was out there handing out books, Howie signing autographs. They had a great time down in Charlotte today. They'll be live in Philadelphia next week.
It was a low blow on Terry.
Oh, Kurt.
Huh?
Kurt. 4 seconds remaining in the first half as Wilkins gets set to kick it off. Low liner picked up front by Dre Bly. Nice return by Bly, and then he gets pulled down high by Jamal Brooks. Bly's a good return man. First half comes to an end. Mike Mart's Lions offense got going in the second quarter, put 14 on the board. At halftime, the Lions lead the Rams 17-16.
NHL returns this Wednesday to NASN.
There are some folks still hanging around here in Carolina as we bring you the Visa Halftime Report. Kurt Menefee, Terry, Howie, and Jimmy. And let's get right to it. St. Louis and Detroit. Offensive showdown. Detroit on top 17-16. Rod Marinelli looking for that first victory.
All right. Congratulations to them as we watch New England down there playing the Cincinnati Bengals. 1st and 10. Lawrence Maroney in for a touchdown of 11 yards. 14-6 at the halftime. New England Patriots over the Cincinnati Bengals.
In Washington, the Jaguars are up by 4. That one at halftime as well. The Oakland Raiders 21-10 as they are blowing out the Cleveland Browns.
That's what I'm talking about.
In the second quarter. Howie liking that one. The Atlanta Falcons get 101 yards rushing from Michael Vick, his 7th career 100-yard ground game.
Jimmy Johnson has had a great day, but he still doesn't know how to say Jake Delhomme. He calls him Del Homie, but it's Del Homie. Hooking up with Smith, 9-yard strike, 7-0. Fourth quarter, Deuce McAllister in from 3 yards out. Now the Saints up 10-7. 73-yard drive. Capped by this 43-yard Sean McAllister. I mean, that is Sean Foster run touchdown. There's your 21. I got a little ahead of myself. 21-18. Carolina Panthers over the New Orleans Saints. Former President Bill Clinton on hand watching the Buffalo Bills. Former President, how you doing, sir? J.P. Lossman, the fearless Price. Get up. Get up. Get on. Turn it loose. Here it is. Touchdown, 8 yards. There it is. Minnesota loses this game. Buffalo 17, the Vikings 12.
3 straight games without a TD for the Vikes.
Terrell Owens. Vince Young, rookie out of Texas, getting his first start. Good luck. Drew Bledsoe back in the pocket. Zone defense. Terrell Owens sits down, 20-yard catch. On the same drive now, Bledsoe. Plenty of time. Great job by the offensive line. Back in the end zone, Terry Glenn, 13-yard strike, 14-3. Cowboys over the Titans. After a Julius Jones touchdown run, Tennessee Titan Albert Hainsworth steps in on Andre Garrod. He is then ejected from this game. Personal foul. He'll hear from the league, I'm sure, on Monday. Vince Young then throws this interception to Brady James. Return 15 yards. All Cowboys 45-14 as they take care of the Tennessee Titans.
Most points by the Cowboys since October of 2000. T.O. 5 catches, 88 yards.
Regardless of all the critics, you know, everybody's speculating. You know, it doesn't bother me. You know, on the inside of my house, I vent, to my people. I have people that I talk to, but once I step on the football field, it's all football. We'll talk about next week. I don't know how much more simple I can say it.
Well, we will talk about next week right now because Fox NFL Sunday will be there with T.O. as he makes his return to the city of brotherly love. Dallas and Philadelphia, part of our doubleheader action next Sunday on Fox.
And my people say, get to the highlights. All right, Dante Hall. Look at here, Howie. Look at Jimmy. Takes it all the way 60-yard. Punt return touchdown. And this was just a good old-fashioned butt-whooping. Chiefs 41, 49ers 0.
Herm Edwards' first victory as Chiefs coach.
Third-year quarterback Phillip Rivers out of North Carolina State. Hooks up with Malcolm Floyd. 31-yard touchdown strike down the sideline. Underthrow, nice adjustment. Floyd's first career touchdown. 16-13, Ravens take care of the Chargers. Justin Miller takes,
Todd Heap.
Todd Heap takes this one. There it is, 16-13. Didn't have that in my list. 16-13.
But you had it over the that's where it counts. Indy and the Jets.
Yeah, there you go. Now I'm up to sticking to speed. Justin Miller takes this thing. 103
yards.
Exactly. All the way, Kurt Menefee. I bet you can't go 103 yards.
In 2 days.
All right, Peyton Manning then from 1 yard out. That makes the Colts 31. The Jets 28. Colts are victorious.
Elsewhere, the Houston Texans get their first win under new coach Gary Kubiak. 17-15 the final over Miami. And congratulations to the St. Louis Baseball Cardinals. They clinched the NL Central Division for the third consecutive year, rounding out the National League picture in the baseball postseason, which will begin right here on Fox Tuesday night. Game 1 of the division series, the wild card winning Detroit Tigers at the New York Yankees. We'll have first pitch for you just after 8 o'clock Eastern right here on Fox. All right, Howie, I guess all it took for Detroit's offense to get going was for Mike Marsh to go to his old home.
And go to his old home. A couple of turnovers in the first half, but Roy Williams last week, 16 receptions, 245 yards, already over 100 yards this week. But I'll tell you what, Philadelphia, we're headed there, and it is going to be interesting.
Unbelievable. Are your people coming?
My peeps are going to be there.
All right.
And when I get into my home, I vent to my peeps every now and then.
How about you? Do you vent to your peeps when
I
you
vent
get
to
home?
my peeps.
I don't have any peeps. I got
Philadelphia
dogs.
is his favorite city, so you better check it
Brotherly
out.
love. Mine is Charlotte.
Games
Mine
coming
is
your
Charlotte.
way
There it is.
Right after this on the Visa halftime.
You are just wrong.
Welcome back to St. Louis, where the Lions lead the Rams 17-16. Our Martin Kilcoyne caught up with Lions head coach Rod Marinelli moments ago.
Coach, you survived the early turnovers on offense. You got to feel good the way you're moving the ball right now.
Oh, no question. I think Kitna's doing a nice job. Roy Williams, the passing game's clicking a little bit right now. And we're running the ball somewhat effectively, so we got to keep that going.
And defensively, you've been able to stop their run. What else do you want to do in the second half?
We just got to keep getting off third down, and we got to make sure we're getting some turnovers right now. We're losing the takeover turnover battle, so and eliminate the penalties, beating ourselves.
Okay. Coach, thanks for the time.
St. Louis, where the Lions and the Rams are hooked up in a good one. Lions looking for their first win of the season. Rams hoping to add to their 2-1 record, put some pressure on in the NFC West, where Seattle is playing a tough game tonight. Seattle 3-0, playing at Chicago. Lions will receive the kickoff of Jeff Wilkins. Eddie Drummond is deep. Drummond, a couple of good returns in the game today. Runs into a crowd across the 20, up to the 23-yard line. So, first half, Lions started slowly. A couple of turnovers hurt them. Rams capitalized, but second quarter, Lions started to take the game away. What did you see happen?
Well, John Kitna's playing really good. That's part of it. And then defensively, their third down defense for Detroit has been terrific. Rod Marinelli said during the week, Sam, that was the money down. That's where they needed to get off the field. As they finished up that second quarter, 4 straight times on defense, they were able to get off the field on third down. To me, that's been the story here early in this game.
And on that return, one of the Rams shaken up. Trying to make out who that player is. And a Lions player down as well.
Well, these are the big collisions right here in the wedge and the wedge busters. Looked like that could have been the hit right there. both of those guys collide, they're both down. That's exactly it.
61, maybe Frank Davis, the rookie guard.
Look like Paul Smith, I think, is the other guy who's trying to bust the wedge up.
And a valuable blocker in the run game.
And you know what? You know it's coming. I was a wedge buster on the kickoff team my first couple years in the league, and you know that collision's about. Look at him spitting the blood out. Wow, you know that collision's about to happen. Bam, there it is. 61 on 31. Both of them down for the count. Davis is the bigger man, but both of them went down there. Paul Smith bleeding out of his mouth. The thing is, you know what, Sam, is he'll get back out there and he'll do it all over again.
Davis, the rookie guard, still down as he's checked out by the Lions staff. First half, neither team running tremendously effectively. The passing game has been good for both teams. Total yardage very close. Turnovers early in the game, that was the big factor, but the Lions have come back. Points off turnovers, 10 for the Rams. Let's go to the sideline to Martin Kilcoyne. Martin.
All right, Sam, thanks very much. Scott Linehan says they can stop Roy Williams and Mike Furrey. It's just a question of technique. He says, you know what, we've stopped guys before. We can do this. As far as the momentum shift in the second quarter, he told his team it's a 0-0 game. We got a little bit of a lift there with the field goal late in the half, but basically it's a brand new game in the second half.
Thanks very much.
Here's the deal, Sam, on defense. Yeah, you got to stop Roy Williams and Mike Fury, and you got to be able to cover those guys. They got to get home on the blitz. And Jimmy Haslett has dialed up several blitzes in the first half of this game, and for the most part weren't able to get home. And there's not a lot of guys man up in this league that can cover Roy Williams man for man if the quarterback's got time.
Roy Williams, 6 catches, 103 yards in the first half. John Kitna, 15 of 19, and he hit his last 10, so he is on a streak as the Lions start the second half. Well, continued concern for Frank Davis. They're going to bring out a stretcher.
Looks like clearly something with the head or neck, and you just don't mess with it. Bottom line.
They've immobilized him and bringing out the stretcher. Concern written on the faces of his Lions teammates.
You know what's wild about this game is you'll see this, and you'll have guys on a knee and praying for him, and 3 minutes from now we'll line up and play all over again. The hazards of this game are unbelievable, and how the guys mentally put it out of their heads and then just, I mean, that's how you got to do it. You got no choice.
It's hard, very hard. But to a man, everybody hoping that Frank Davis is okay. Welcome back to St. Louis. Earlier today around the league, top running backs, Julius Jones for Dallas, running for 122 yards and a touchdown as Dallas beat Tennessee 45-14. Big day for Kansas City as Larry Johnson rushed for 101 yards. LaDainian Tomlinson, San Diego losing in Baltimore 16-13. Tomlinson 98 yards. Warwick Dunn 55 yards rushing, but Atlanta, big day led by Michael Vick, beat Arizona 32-10. Here's that injury again, number 61, Frank Davis, in the collision with Paul Smith. Smith got off, went to the sideline under his own power. Davis is still being tended to by the medical staff on the field and being put on the stretcher. We'll go back to LA for an update to Chris Rose.
Sam, obviously we're all thinking about Frank Davis. Let's give you an update on the Patriots and Bengals. Tom Brady to wide open Doug Gabriel. And New England leading this one 14-6. They are now in the second half. Back to Sam and Tim.
Thank you, Chris. Strong game for the Patriots on the road.
And that's a tough place to play now down in Cincinnati with that offensive passing attack that they bring to it. You know, no Deion Branch. Doug Gabriel steps in and is playing well.
Now, they haven't removed the helmet from Frank Davis, but they unscrewed the face mask.
Yeah, they did. Because you don't want any head or neck injury. You don't want to be pulling on that helmet. Just get the mask off.
Chris Rose back in the Fox Network Center in Los Angeles with an update on the Browns and the Raiders. Both teams winless. Lamont Jordan, look at what he does. He's turning everybody around. Had just 55 yards rushing in the first 2 games. He's already over 100. Browns and Raiders in the second half. Oakland up 21-10. Back to Sam and Tim in St. Louis.
Thank you, Chris. As the medical staff prepares to put Frank Davis on the stretcher, Paul Smith still feeling the effects of that collision. His left eye is
cut. He's spitting up blood. He looks like he's got out of a prize fight. Again, I don't think you can explain what these guys go through mentally to put yourself in harm's way play after play and knowing that it's going to happen again in terms of getting the hits. And I guarantee you Paul Smith will be back out there in this game hitting people again.
Frank Davis conscious throughout, but has been immobilized. As you can see, concern about a neck injury as he is carted off. Thoughts and prayers of everyone with Frank Davis, as he will be taken to a hospital nearby. Now it's time to resume the game.
Yep, that's the thing.
Lions 1st and 10 at the 22. Jones and Bryson in the backfield. And it's Kevin Jones cutting it upfield and gets a couple of yards, where he's brought down by Victor Adeyanju, the rookie defensive end, described as just a raw talent. There's a guy, a 4th-round draft pick out of Indiana, who was thrust into the starting role 2nd week in a row.
Well, and people would look at him and say he's 6'4", 270 pounds, and he's a pass rusher, but exactly the opposite. He's much better with his leverage points in run defense than he is at this point early on rushing the quarterback.
2 tight ends in for the Lions. Pressure from Little on the outside. Kitna, the pass incomplete, intended for Casey Fitzsimmons, thrown a little behind him. Fitzsimmons came back last week from a broken wrist suffered in preseason. Has not caught a pass thus far this season.
Boy, how clever and nifty is that of Kitna? 11th year in the league. Watch Leonard Little. He's going to turn the corner so fast here around Jonathan Scott. Pow, look at that get off. Now Kitna just senses him out of his ear hole and is able to step up and make a throw.
There's a big 3rd down play coming up. Crowd gets loud for the Rams defense. And the Lions call an early timeout as they want to discuss the 3rd and long play. 3rd and 9 for the Lions at their own 24. 3 wide receivers. Oz Hakeem is in. Kitna. Short throw too high for Oz Hakeem. He had time.
He had a lot of time. They showed blitz. The Rams did on defense and then didn't bring it. Everybody showed blitz and then bailed out. Good call by Jim Haslett, putting a little question mark in John Kitna's mind. He unloaded that ball long before he had to, which caused it to sail over Oz's head.
So the first possession of the 2nd half for the Lions ends in 3 and out. Nick Harris with the punt, his 2nd of the game. Sean McDonald waits for the Rams. Line drive angled toward the sideline. Good roll for the Lions. And it stops at the 31-yard line, where the Rams will go on offense. Baseball, final day of the regular season. Cardinals are in, winning the division despite the fact they lost. Houston lost. San Diego looking to wrap up the West. Dodgers will be the wild card. And in the American League, the Tigers are the wild card. They'll open up in New York at Yankee Stadium. They lost the entire weekend to Kansas City.
Didn't they control their own destiny, just needing one?
They didn't get it. Tigers at the Yankees Tuesday night on Fox, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific. Postseason baseball on Fox. Bulger off the play fake. Hit as he throws. Finds his man Torrey Holt out of bounds against Dre Bly. It's up to close to the 45-yard line.
Boy, Bulger's got underrated arm strength. He's throwing this off his back foot. He's got pressure in his face. Watch this sack clock down here. You got to get that thing off in under 3 seconds. Guy's in his face right there, right at 3. Sean Rogers throws it off his back foot right into the hot spot of the zone to hook up with his receiver.
23 passes, only 10 runs for the Rams in the game. At the 45. With Smith injured, Madison Hedgecock is in as the fullback. That pass complete to Isaac Bruce. And it is right at the 1st down line. Jamal Fletcher on the coverage, 4 catches for Isaac Bruce.
And Isaac Bruce got to get it going here in the 2nd half. Had the one big one early. I think he and Kevin Curtis both. There's mismatches on the field for those guys in passing situations. Dre Bly is over locked on Torrey Holt. Detroit has been limited here early in the season with injuries on the back end. They've got backups out there starting now. Isaac Bruce and Kevin Curtis should have a field day if Bulger has time here in the second half.
Rams 2 tight ends in. Aaron Walker, number 87, along with Joe Kloffenstein. Bulger looks like he's checking off at the line. Lions blitzing. Jackson going wide. Makes the turn out of bounds at the Lions 40-yard line. Picked up about 5 on the play. Madison Hedgecock, the fullback, leading him around the corner.
That's where the success has come early on here in the running game. And Steven Jackson has been close to 5 a pop here in the game. And most of it has been right there on the edges. 11 carries, 52 yards for him. I think they're convinced. And you look at the play versus run contrast, pass versus run. You're not going to run between the tackles with Sean Rogers and Sean Cody in there. You're just not going to. They're very, very solid inside.
They stay with 2 tight ends. Bulger being rushed, gets rid of it, and completes a beautiful pass to Isaac Bruce again. And he's out of bounds at about the 17-yard line, beating Jamal Fletcher, former first-round draft pick of the Miami Dolphins.
And that's the mismatch I was talking about. Isaac Bruce is just going to run that 9 route, that takeoff route down the sideline, and you see that little hole in between the corner and the safety. Daniel Bullock's late coming over the top. Those are the hot spots of that cover 2 zone defense, exploited there by Isaac Bruce.
And that's Jamar Fletcher, the cornerback. And O'Brien out. Ball at the 17. Jackson going inside, and he is shoved back. Combination of Sean Rogers and Paris Lennon.
With Rod Marinelli coming up from Tampa Bay, you'll see a lot of the cover 2 defense where the middle linebackers got to run deep. Therefore, you got a voided zone right there in the middle of the field. You've got the slants that are big in front of those corners. This one we just saw, side of the corner and the safety. And then that middle zone, just the soft spot. Get behind the linebackers in front of the safety, sit down, find a little hole. And again, there's the one that Isaac Bruce just exploited over there between Fletcher and Bullocks.
4 wide receivers for the Rams on 2nd and 10. Bulger steps up under pressure, throws, touchdown, Torrey Holt. Third touchdown reception of the season for Torrey Holt, and the Rams regain the lead.
Boy, did he just shake down Daniel Bullocks with that route. What makes Torrey Holt so good? His ability to run routes, show one thing and give you another. He had the rookie's head spinning on that one. Bullocks had no chance.
Well, the family's wearing T-shirts, the Battle of the Brothers, and Torrey wins this battle. Wilkins' extra point is good. The Rams go 69 yards in 6 plays. They finish it off, 16-yard touchdown pass, Bulger to Holt. Mark Bulger, 2 touchdown passes in the game, 4 for the season.
Here's the touchdown by Torrey Holt, who's right there. Sam, watch what he does. He's just going to lean outside. Look at his head. He's looking at the corner, He's got Bullocks thinking all this. Now he just breaks it off back inside, gets the post route. Mark Bulger knew where he was going.
That's abusing the rookie. Torrey Holt with 53 yards receiving today is now